What we have today is my Masterbuilt Smoker. The door has decided to rust out. The bottom pin rusted out on here, so I'm gonna put hinges on it. Hopefully we can extend it rather than spending 250 bucks. This is the Masterbuilt 2007-0421 model number. After I do it, I'll let you guys know how it worked out, and I'll take you through the process of how I'm putting hinges on. Okay, so I purchased hinges at my local Lowe's. What I did was I measured here to make sure that that hinge is in between the space between the door and the actual smoker. I've just put a mark with my Sharpie on these 3 points. I'm going to hook the hinges up. I'm going to put 3 on there, and then I'm going to drill pilot holes and screw it in. Okay, so what I did was, this comes with the hinges from Lowe's. I just matched it up. I'm just drilling pilot holes because I want it to bite into the metal. The metal is very thin, so I just matched this up so I can get a bite into the metal itself, the outer skin. So when you do it, you want your hinge, see how that fits in between? But I want my hinge, the metal part, to be lined up with the edge of that metal piece of the smoker itself. So I've already marked those holes. I'm going to drill pilot holes real quick. Check for fit. And when I mark the pilot holes, I want them centered into the screw hole of the hinge. So see how that's centered? You want to make sure those are pretty centered. Now I'm not going to use my drill to put the screws in, because if I use a drill, it's going to amp it up too much power, and then it won't go in. And this is very thin metal, so this is just a rehab to see if I can fix my door, rather than spending, this thing goes for between $329 and $250. I saw it on AliExpress yesterday for $176, but then someone's review said that they never got it, so don't always trust the cheapest sale online. Okay, so what I do is I line this up on the edge there. See that line? It's that edge there. And then I put 3 dots centered for the pilot holes. And then I can remove that. Okay, so you can see I have all the hinges on the smoker itself. And then I'm gonna install this door. So what I have to do is make sure when I adjust the door that it is sitting so that the seal is good on it. So I'll worry about the top one first. I'm trying to align these. Make sure this is pretty much level at the top. Holes are in. That'll hold the door up once I get that hinge in. I'm not screwing them all the way in because there might be some room for adjustment, because I'm doing 3 hinges. Okay, next thing, so I went to the top, and if you look up here, see how that's level at the top and those are aligned? Then I'm going to come to the bottom because I have to make this flush as well. And then I want to make this aligned as well. See how it pushes out because of the, see that? So it's not straight. That's because of the seal. So that's some wiggle room. There we go. See how I can get it straight now? See how that it's straighter now. See how it's aligned and it's not crooked. Now I'll drill pilot holes again. Alright. And that'll kind of pull it towards it and seal it a little bit more. Okay, and that's done. One of the points I want to illustrate, so when I put the top and the bottom hinge on, it was still pinching and I didn't understand what I had possibly done wrong. Well, this goes in here. This is the original hinge. It goes off of essentially a bar hinge or a saloon hinge, and that pin goes down. So when it was moving, because these hinges are different, it was pulling on this. So you have to remove the old one so that the door swings freely. And then I'll show you right now. See. Now, because the metal is so thin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly take each one of these out. I'm going to put steel epoxy in it, a steel stick, and then I'm going to put it in there and let it dry. And that should harden it up and create more of a base for it to bite into for each of these hinges. And then we'll see over time with heat if this lasts, or I'm going to have to get a new one or a different one. We'll see. Okay, so this is JB Weld steel stick. It's a reinforced steel epoxy. I'm going to take that and I'm going to unscrew these and I'm going to push it in each of the areas to reinforce. You should wear gloves because I don't know, it says to. You want to get this stuff all over your hands. And I'm filling in all the void spaces. I already did one side of the hinges and now I'm working on the other side. It hardens in 3 to 5 minutes. And it's like hard in 60 minutes, so one side's already hard. This is not a fast process. I kind of roll it in my palms to make it look like a worm, and then I put it in. And this is all, the only reason I'm doing this is because of because the metal is so thin, it feels like it would rot out or move at a certain point. So all I'm doing is stuff it in there and okay. So I put all the steel epoxy in here behind the screws. The screws were a little loose. It is not going to be pretty, but it's a smoker, so I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing anyways. So all of this is hardening right now. See, it's not scraping off anymore. And then down below, so I have 3 hinges on it. I did not measure the hinges out. I just kind of placed them based on what I thought the middle was, top, bottom. Remember, you got to take that pin out of the top so it doesn't hinge. That hinge is right here. Right here, it used to sit here because it creates that pivot point or pinch point that won't let it swing open. But now, new door on there. Hopefully I don't have to buy a new one, and we'll see how long it lasts with the heat implications on that. And that's why we use the steel stick epoxy, because it's supposed to be heat resistant up to certain temperatures.